Can you hear me better now? I can hear me now too. So thanks. But anyway, we've talked about the beauty here, and there's no question about it. The weather, the beauty, all of the great stuff that we are here for. We've been here, myself and my wife, for 20 years. And I can't even imagine losing the beauty of the valley. It's going to impact the climate. A lot of things, and it's going to impact the history of this area. And that's a sad, sad day when that happens, because this is where the West was won or started. Coming down this way, expanding from east to west, and we have some historic structures here that are going to get trampled. We have missions that are going to be misused. We're going to have the tourist industry will go away, and that is an incredible part of our economy, and millions, billions of dollars a year, and we're going to lose all that. So when you're talking about economics, when you're talking about jobs, this is what can happen in a worse way and in greater volume. And this to me is as important as a lot of the other factors that should be considered before this thing is allowed to get bigger. Thank you very much.
By the way, let me remind you all, if you want to get on our mailing list, sign up over here before you go, and we'll make sure to get you stuff on a regular basis. Yes, sorry.
Yeah, as a matter of curiosity, a little bit north of here in the Miami Globe, Kearney area, there's I believe it's an Sarco operation too. There's been mining up there for a number of years. And then over north of the Safford-Thatcher area, 191, there's a large, I think it's one of the largest open pit mines in the world. It occupies about 25 miles of Highway 191 going up there. I'm just curious, I haven't heard mention of either of those, but with all the statistical data that you've accumulated to dispel a lot of HudBay's claims, have either of those mining operations provided you with any significant data to support dispelling anything HudBay might say?
I was just looking at some data like that the other day, and I'm sorry, I'm pulling a blank. What data it was? I guess the short answer is yes. I know what it was. So our economists looked at areas. There have been studies comparing, and they looked at counties throughout the U.S. that have mining as a substantial part of their activities versus non-mining counties. And if you look across the U.S., and there's some statistics in the report, having mining makes your economy significantly underperform compared to counties without mining. So it's exactly the kind of thing you were just talking about. There are these hidden costs of mining. Big hits on tourism, big hits on outdoor recreation. These are massive drivers in Pima County for our economy. Outdoor recreation tourism, way, many times bigger than the mining addition would be in this mine district.
Those are both pretty remote areas, meaning they're not threatening large communities in close proximity, but still in terms of pollution here.
So one of the things they did was look at areas not only across the U.S. but within Arizona that have mining and don't have mining. And one of the things, and that's kind of the catch-22 having mining. If you're in an area in Arizona that has devoted yourself to mining, you're going to typically underperform, so they found, compared to other areas that don't have mining. And the reason is because everyone wants to recreate, everyone wants to build second homes somewhere. There's a lot of value to an undamaged natural landscape that feeds into the local economy. So Yeah, I mean, we can talk about specifics that you can imagine, like, well, you know, would you buy a house in Corona de Tucson if you're sitting next to a giant toxic tailing pile? You know, so you can look at it specific, but then you can look at it like as the economist did across broader landscapes, comparing like counties throughout the U.S. and all different states, mining versus non-mining. Non-mining wins.
We moved to here 4 years ago. Our salesperson was Annie. Some of you might remember Annie. She was very good, trustworthy, and honest. Part of the reason I say she's honest is because she said, you don't want to build your house facing to the north toward Tucson. And I said, why is that? She said, because the mines are planning to build a power line, a large power line. And we actually went out there in a truck. A lot of the roads weren't even built there yet. And there were red ribbons marked in the bushes. And so she said, this is where the power line's going to go. So that's a totally secondary issue. But you talk about depreciating your economic value of your property if you're looking at a power line. So the question is, what's happening with the power? And are you familiar with that proposal or know anything about it?
All I really know that there's a power line right of way that runs along Santa Rita Road, and you'll see signs there for it that's going to be built.
Brought down to where? To the mine or? Yeah.
To the mine. I'm not sure where else.
Well, it sounds like another secondary issue that affects a
Look
lot
at
of
the
people.
maps that I was talking about, oh, no doubt.
A lot of them. Because
You'll see where that power line is going. That's where they're buying property.
So, okay, maybe we should make this the last question, and if people want to, yeah, I think this will be the last question, and then if people want to talk to me afterwards, I'll be glad to make myself available, but let's have Kitty. Yes, sir.
Thank you for having us. I think for the most part, just having you guys here has helped us get a better idea what's going on. Being part of the Vulcan thing, it was a very rough thing for us to get our stuff going in this facility. So it's good to have you guys here. My question is, because I teach in Vail, I teach at CopperWorld, do a lot of subbing there. Where, in fact, how close do the tailings come to that school?
Well, I know exactly that the closest house is 480 feet. I'm not, it's within half a mile, it's probably within a quarter mile.
Okay, because that road that you had that area that was in purple?
Yeah,
that I thought-
that's that conservation area.
Okay, and how is that where there, because the road that's in front of the school goes right by there, based on what I saw in the
You want me
picture.
to bring that back?
Yeah, because Krista Fields over there, the principal, she's very much involved in this thing. In fact, she was at the.
Oh, there was.
Yeah, okay, because there's a school, there's a road. What's that in the road?
It says Sycamore Leaf.
Okay, so where in relation to the school, I mean, does that community know how close those tailings are coming to the school?
Well, they're getting pretty riled up.
Okay, they ought to be.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, that area is mostly young people, right? I mean, and it's growing, I mean, and if you guys reach out to Krista Fields there, the principal there in Vail, the school district, have you done that?
We're just a little group.
And I understand, I'm not trying to pressure you, because we were too, and we understand what you're going through. But I think there was a lot of chatter at school last time I was there about this whole HudBay thing. And I think if you really, really hone in on the Vail School District and how close, and emphasize to those people how close those tailings are going to come to that school, and I know how those kids are gonna be breathing that stuff, okay, it might have.
Thank you for that
Okay, sure,
suggestion.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you, are you?
I'm going to-
I wanted to just point out that we're fortunate to have in this room right now two very important people in our community. And I hope this issue doesn't turn into a political issue. Because sitting in this room are the past presidents of the Republican Club and the Democratic Club. And they support this project. So we need to move forward on that level, not getting involved with politics, but supporting where we live, our environment, and what we have been grateful to experience. So.